Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. Well, first tonight, the travel bubble is off and Tasmania's borders will stay closed for at least this month as anxiety builds over the spread of Victoria's second wave. For more, we're joined by reporter Sean McComish. Sean, this decision may be difficult for many.
Well, good evening, Kim. Absolutely, it will be. On Friday, the border was due to reopen with South Australia, Western Australia and the Northern Territory. But this afternoon, the Premier scrapped that arrangement. His reasons were pretty simple. COVID cases in Victoria are skyrocketing. And now South Australia is bringing back some of its restrictions. Our borders will stay shut until at least August 31. So for Tasmanians, especially those with family on the mainland, it's going to be another long month of heartache. Here's what Peter Gutwin had to say. Popping hopes of a border bubble.
We will not be opening our borders to South Australia, the Northern Territory and WA this Friday as originally planned, nor will we be opening to other parts of the country on the 14th as previously flagged.
That plan, announced just a fortnight ago, is now too risky. Peter Gutwin says reversing the decision wasn't easy.
It's been very difficult, but it simply isn't the time to be opening our borders right now.
Tasmania's vital freight links remain secure. Supermarket giant Woolworths says the state isn't facing supply shortages like seen in Victoria. Coles is monitoring the situation.
There is no need for Tasmanians at all to consider any form of panic buying or to be queuing at supermarkets. Our supply lines remain strong and ongoing.
Today's announcement means the August 15 AFL clash between North Melbourne and Brisbane has been scrapped. Labor says it understands the government's decision but wants more support for businesses, especially ones in tourism.
It's going to be quite a while yet before our borders are reopened, and it's understandable why that's the case, but that will have an impact on jobs and business confidence.
For one Tasmanian running a pub in Melbourne, it's all a reminder of the risk of complacency.
I think that's something that definitely crept in over here. I know that during our weeks that we did reopen, that restrictions eased a little bit and we were able to reopen the pub. It felt like old days. You know, people came back hard at the pub.
Over the weekend, 2 Tasmanians were caught allegedly breaching hotel quarantine in Hobart. Police are now calling the incident selfish and unacceptable.
There is no excuse for anyone not heeding the restrictions that are in place to keep us all safe.
Moving forward, Tasmania's tough stance on borders will be considered on a week-by-week basis. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania is in for a wintry Antarctic blast over the coming days with a cold front sweeping through the state. For more on this, let's bring in our reporter Letitia Wallace. Letitia, the question on everyone's lips, will we have snow?
Kim, the Weather Bureau says we could see some light snow flurries tonight and into tomorrow morning. But experts are saying not to get too excited with the snow not likely to settle for long. Unfortunately, it isn't set to be anything like 2015 when Hobart beaches turned white. Snow's predicted to fall to around 100 metres in some areas of the state. However, the Weather Bureau says there's a stronger chance of a decent snow dump in some parts tomorrow night.
Because the snow line is still fairly low, we could see heavy snowfall for areas above about 700 metres on Tuesday night and Wednesday. So quite a good dump possible for Mount Wellington. Ben Lomond will probably get some good snow. And we might actually see, it's quite an unusual situation, so we might actually see some snowfall in places that we usually wouldn't along the higher parts of the east coast.
Police are also reminding bushwalkers to be aware of the wild weather after a father and son were rescued off Mount Anne last night. Motorists urged to take caution on the roads too.
Be aware of snow and ice on the road. Make sure that they slow down and be mindful of the speed limit is not a challenge, and they should certainly drive to the conditions.
And Kim, the cold weather is expected to stick around for most of the week with overnight negative temperatures on the way.
Well, now, despite that snowy weather on the way, the Bureau of Meteorology has revealed last month was the driest July on record for some parts of Tasmania. Regions across the north, east and west all experienced the record low rainfall, down by almost 60% on the average. It's in stark contrast to last year, which was one of the wettest in regions from Lake St Clair to Queenstown. In an Australian first, Tasmanian oysters will be put on the world map in a unique way, etching the brand into shells. A local company has received a federal government grant to create the robotic laser technology.
It's a trademark stamp for Asia-bound oysters.
One of our problems in the market is identifying the high-end premium product that we grow. Certainly for the export markets, we need to somehow brand our product to distinguish it from our opposition.
Shellfish Culture is in the process of creating a laser etching system for its new Tasmanian Oyster Co brand.
This is certainly a first in Australia, and it has been trialled in Europe in the past with some success, but our technology and our robotic feeding system is certainly unique in the design that, is going to be patented here in Tasmania.
The company, which was the first to open an oyster hatchery in the Southern Hemisphere, has been rocked hard by COVID-19, seeing demand drop by 50%.
It's been a big drop in demand, especially in our seed side of it too. So some of the farmers haven't, because they're not selling their bigger oysters, they're a bit scared to put seed onto their farm at the moment.
The business hopes the unique branding will help it bounce back and maximise its overseas potential.
This is for the absolute high-end quality that Tasmania can produce, and we need to be able to take advantage of that in the best markets around the world.
Etching a world-class product into shells and minds alike. Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmanian News.
A housing support program for Tasmanians experiencing mental health issues is proving a success. The state government's $1 million trial is in its second year, with hopes the program will be extended at the end of next year.
Julian Smith is one of 16 Tasmanians taking part in a housing trial.
Well, it can be quite scary if you don't have a secure place to stay, but by knowing I've got a secure place to stay, that provides me with a basis to build upon all the other aspects of my life.
He came out of hospital around 6 months ago and has been able to take advantage of support services to get back on his feet.
They've helped me with transport, talking with other service providers such as community centres, activity centres, things like that. They've been there for me, they've helped me with my pension.
The Housing and Accommodation Support Initiative began last year and runs until 2021.
Supporting individuals through their mental health and connecting them to other very important services that they may require from time to time.
The pilot program is in partnership with Colony 47. So far, the organisation says it's proving successful.
Put together an evaluation, which we're undertaking now, and the preliminary work showing that it is effective, particularly at a time like COVID too, where it's not a normal environment. We're actually seeing that it is generating very good outcomes for the people who are involved.
Labor says it's concerned about the future of the program.
Tasmanian Labor would like to see that there's a plan for ongoing funding for that project so that the 16 people included in the pilot trial are not dropped and left without a roof over their head.
Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmanian News.
If you or anyone you know is struggling with mental health issues, contact Lifeline on 131114. Meanwhile, one of Tasmania's elite sports stars has highlighted mental health as a top priority. Hobart Hurricanes WBBL captain Corinne Hall will be one of many wearing awareness bracelets. Money will be raised towards training of Lifeline's new crisis support hotline operators.
I'm not much of a jewellery fan. I wear the bare minimum earrings, but I can see myself wearing this every single day. I think I'll actually play with it throughout the summer.
Organisers are hoping to raise $5,000. Bracelets can be purchased from the Francesca website. Glenorchy believes Saturday's breakthrough win over Kingborough will give the young side confidence for the rest of the season. The Magpies held on by 1 point in a thriller, but admit poor discipline nearly cost them victory.
Threading the needle as the Magpies hold on by a thread.
Yeah, it was just great to win those games. It can easily go either way.
Only a point could separate the two sides at full time. The coach with plenty of positives to measure the performance.
I guess you take two really good things from it. One, we sung the song, and two, we played some footy that was really recognisable as ourselves.
But poor discipline threatened Glenorchy's chances midway through the match, with a free kick gifting the Tigers back-to-back goals, opening the door for a comeback.
Lockie Griggs with the easiest of attempts on goal.
Redirecting their aggression, a key focus.
to be on the front foot with the way we go about the game, and when the other team retaliates, hopefully then we're getting the free kicks.
Their first victory of the season, giving the young side confidence as they begin to build their own brand of footy.
Our pressure was high. Our ball movement was much better.
The more experience you get and the more exposure you get to senior football, the easier it becomes.
This weekend's bye will give Glenorchy 2 wins in as many weeks, while Kimber will take on Clarence. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmanian News.
And Riverside Olympic players are feeling relieved after securing their first 3 points of the season over arch rivals Launceston. Super sub Aaron Kidmus pounced on a loose rebound to fire home the winner in the 87th minute. But the side believes it had plenty of early opportunities to seal the match and will need to be more clinical in front of goal.
It really should have been 2 or 3-0 at half-time and we could have put it to bed.
Riverside will travel south this weekend to take on Hobart Olympia, who have their backs against the wall after a lacklustre start to the season. Post-race drama has gifted Tasmanian Formula 3 driver Alex Peroni his second podium of the season. He finished the race at Silverstone in 4th place, but a 5-second penalty to winner Alexander Smolya elevated Peroni to 3rd. He remains 8th in the overall standings and will take to the track again next weekend. And finally, the TSL Player of the Year after round 4, and Dylan Riley was judged best on ground following Launceston's 22-point win over Lauderdale at Windsor Park. Alex Lee awarded the 3 votes in the Northern Bombers' win over traditional foes Clarence. And Magpie Jay Bowden topping the poll following his side's win over the Tigers. Let's have a look at the leaderboard now, and Launceston's Joby Harper is showing a clean set of hills to Kieran Lovell and Josh McGuinness with 4 votes and a multitude of players with 3 votes.
Good evening. Temperatures between 1 and 4 below average today. Hobart 11, the northern centres all on 12. 14 the maximum at Friendly Beaches. Mount Wellington the low with -3. Flinders Island 13. King Island, Smithton, St Helens 12. Lowhead 11. Ouse and Strawn 10. Lyawini a top of 2. Promise of things to come. Cloud is spiralling around a low to our southwest and over the west coast. Patchier cloud over the east coast today. Now some of that low cloud also over Victoria and South Australia. The next system near Western Australia, a trough pushes in over South Australia and Victoria. Tomorrow the front passes to the east as the low sits over the state. The trough over the mainland continues. Winds south to southwesterly, increasing during the day to 20 to 30 knots, swells to 5 metres in western and southern waters. A strong wind warning is current for all waters between St Helens Point and Stanley, quite a bit of the coastline. A bushwalkers alert and a road weather alert for snow to low levels and icy roads, and a warning to sheep graziers for the entire state. So into tomorrow, if you really want to know, just 8 degrees for Hobart, frost, showers increasing later in the day, 8 the top also for Adventure Bay, -7 for Tarraleah to a high of 4. Launceston tomorrow recovering from -1 to max out at 9 degrees, 9 also for Devonport, Bridport a top of 9 with light showers over the northern centres, a light shower for Burnie and 9, 8 the top for Strawn, Marrawar 9 degrees as well with a light shower or 2, 9 the high for St Helens, a frost with a light shower, Swansea the same and 9 the top for Whitemark. Now on Wednesday, showers gradually easing, snow to 700 metres and cold southerly winds again. Showers on Thursday over the west, south and southeast coast, snow to 800 metres, and on Friday fine and partly cloudy, areas of morning frost over the north with temperatures still quite low. An early shower in Perth tomorrow, partly cloudy in Adelaide and Brisbane, a cold showery day in Melbourne expecting a high of just 11, a sunny 22 in Sydney. Cloudy in Hobart, it's 7 at the moment, 8 degrees in Launceston, mostly cloudy in Devonport and 8 degrees.
That is your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night.